Clark trying to come back to it. Clark shakes Van Lith into the lane, gets fouled by Reese. And then Angel Reese takes a tumble afterwards.
Attracting the interest of basketball players all over, the WNBA game between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese was unforgettable.
As Caitlin Clark is going to go to the line to shoot two, and oh no, oh my goodness.
Full of fast action and fierce rivalry, the game highlighted the incredible skills of these two upcoming stars.
Now we see Aaliyah Del Rosario come into the game for LSU. She played incredibly well in the Sweet 16.
Brings great size and strength on the...
It was abundantly evident from the start that this was not just any ordinary season game. Rather, this was a duel destined for the historical record.
I mean, the three-point contest can't wait for this year after what Sabrina Ionescu did last year. And you got Team USA against Team All-Stars. Clark connects on her third three of the game.
Now a rookie with the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark set the tone early with her extraordinary shooting. Renowned for her scoring abilities practically anywhere on the floor, Clark needed more time to establish her presence. Her early game consisted of 2 consecutive three-pointers, energizing the audience and laying the ground for what would be a game to remember.
Out of the starting lineup, put back in after the injury to Temi Thagbenle, has really found her footing over the last 4 or 5 games. Reese, the deep catch, and the finish on Smith.
Conversely, Angel Reese, representing the Chicago Sky, exhibited her usual physicality and intensity. Paint powerhouse Reese was unrelenting in her quest for rebounds and points.
And you can see Kim Mulkey saying, we got to stop turning the ball over, and that is not what anybody wants to see. Angel Reese going back, although it looks like
She's getting on
she's
the
going to
bike.
get on the bike. All right.
Her first game score came off a tough underbasket move that outmuscled her defenders and demonstrated why she is among the most aggressive players in the league.
Thing from us this year, it's been a harder path because we all have felt the expectations as the defending champs, and obviously as a team that gets a whole lot of it.
Their undergraduate days, when they often found themselves in fierce arguments, Clark and Reese's history spans outstanding at Iowa.
Caitlin Clark is different from any other player we have ever seen.
For Angel Reese, it is her size, her speed, and her strength.
Clark was well known for her amazing range and playmaking skills. Dominant at LSU, Reese was famous for her aggressive physical approach and unrelenting rebounding.
Both have battled each other since the Big Ten, when Clark was at Iowa shooting logo threes, and Reese, a double-double machine, was at Maryland before transferring to LSU.
Their rivalry has only escalated since they joined the WNBA. Their college games were always packed with emotion.
Here comes Caitlin. She loves transition. From the corner.
Was worried about getting into foul trouble with their bigs. Keep throwing it inside.
Clark kept playing her all around as the game went on. She was not only scoring as needed, but also precisely passing her teammates.
It's Iowa!
En route to his second consecutive national title game.
One highlight occurred when she gave Aaliyah Boston, who finished hard at the rim, a gorgeous assist. A major component of the Fever's attacking approach was Clark's ability to locate open teammates and make wise under duress selections.
A teammate that's gonna make you believe in yourself. The leap that I took from my freshman to sophomore year, Angel gave me that confidence to go be a dog. Playing next to a dog every day.
Reese, meanwhile, was a force on the boards, catching rebound after rebound. For the Sky, her presence in the paint was rather important as it provided several chances for second chance.
She surpassed expectations, already taking down one of the league's very best.
This is what Angel Reese does.
Now, Clark and Reese paths intertwine once more as they square off as pros for the first time.
Reese's strength and will were on display as she out-hustled 2 players to collect an offensive rebound and then scored with a forceful move.
Someone on her that doesn't exactly have that kind of size just seemed a little criminal in my opinion, because Caitlin ate every time, even over that extended arm of Angel Reese. Caitlin gets the shot off, and then
as both sides battled for dominance, the game's physicality changed. Despite many harsh strikes, Clark stayed cool and kept guiding her squad with great shots and clever moves.
Clark and the Fever started 0-5 on the season, but there's no doubt this young squad is starting to find its stride.
Caitlin Clark celebrates her first win in the WNBA.
Battling in the paint, Reese made things tough for the Fever's defense by using her size and power.
The highest since 2015, and that's as far back as our records go, as round 3 between Indiana and Chicago is underway.
Camila Cardoso's introduction was among the game's best moments. Cardoso, a rookie, performed like a seasoned player, immediately having effect with defensive plays and important rebounds. Her entrance into the game gave new vitality and proved she would be a major character to see going forward.
I mean, the three-point contest, can't wait for this year after what Sabrina Ionescu did last year. Then you got Team USA against Team All-Stars. Clark connects on her third 3 of the game.
The contest turned into a nitty-gritty in the fourth quarter. Both teams swapped baskets, and many times the lead passed hand. On fire, Clark made vital passes and scored 3-pointers. Reese kept the sky close by continuing to rule on the boards, turning offensive rebounds into points.
Into Boston, Clark gets knocked down, no call. Here comes Mitchell, dancing through the lane, scoops it in. Kelsey Mitchell's downhill attack.
With about 2 minutes remaining, the Fever were clinging to a slim advantage. To widen the margin, Clark struck a clutch jumper. The Sky swiftly answered with a 3-pointer from Kennedy Carter. As the game neared its last minutes, there was obvious suspense throughout the stadium.
Boston, who also has a 15-5-5 game today. Here's Clark, catch, fire, and connect.
In the last seconds, Clark performed a calculated action, snagging a rebound and deftly running out the clock to ensure the Fever's triumph. Her outstanding basketball IQ and under-pressure calmness confirmed her rank among the league's best players.
3-second difference, game and shot clock. Here is Mabry, dumping it in. Cardoso the catch and the finish. Here's Cardoso.
This game was evidence of women's basketball's rising popularity rather than just a display of personal ability. By means of their competition and performances, Clark and Reese are enhancing the game and raising awareness of the WNBA. Their efforts on the court inspire the next players and supporters. The game between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese was a master lesson in basketball brilliance. Every time they compete, it reminds us of the talent, tenacity, and passion driving the sport. With its intensity and high stakes, this game will be recognized as one of the defining events in their careers and as a milestone in WNBA history.
Nobody else in the country that's an elite shot for. There are different rules for Caitlin Clark.
Her family's reaction, Megan. Her mom, Ann, said she might even cry. Wow.
The path Caitlin Clark has traveled to the WNBA is really remarkable. She has always shown herself as a top-notch talent from her high school days, where she was already generating headlines. Through her undergraduate time at Iowa, her move into the professional ranks has been flawless. Her court vision and scoring prowess distinguish her from the others.
That's why we were so successful. We really moved the ball, whether they're in man, whether they're in zone, whether it was transition. I thought we executed in every single area, but also our defense was really good. Only gave up 68 points, and I thought they scored a lot there in the fourth, so proud of the group.
The road Angel Reese has traveled to the WNBA is equally remarkable. Renowned for her aggressiveness and tenacity, she has been a major player at every stage of development. Several honors and exceptional performances distinguished her tenure at LSU. She has taken that same passion to the professional scene.
As round 3 between Indiana and Chicago is underway. Clark trying to shake free Mabry all over her. Here is Clark. Clark separating, taking, and hitting. Caitlin Clark with a difficult look.
Among the most intriguing narratives in women's basketball today is the one between Clark and Reese's rivalry. Every game between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky is a must-see, as both teams have players pushing one another to unprecedented standards. Audiences are enthralled by the great energy, talent, and competitive spirit in their bouts on the court.
Well, you know, it's meeting number 2. Let's do, how about a couple of tips to get this thing going? Eric Bruton is our crew chief. Fatu Sissoko Stevens, Jenna Renew are our officials here today.
In this specific game, the tension was evident from the first tip, though Reese's continuous work on the boards kept the Sky in the game. Clark's rapid start with her three-point shooting set the tone. It was evident as the minutes passed that this game would go to the wire.
Clark, the Fever, and the Sky are underway at Gainbridge Fieldhouse as Chicago wins the tip. Rebound knocked away. Boston and Smith were...
For the Fever, Clark's ability to score from wherever on the floor is very helpful. Her strong range pushes opponents to stretch out possibilities for her teammates. She proved her scoring ability throughout the game, striking equally efficient drives to the hoop from outside the arc.
What they're doing every single possession. Boston gets the first touch of the third quarter. Solid move for the last year's WNBA Rookie of the Year. In the starting spot again here in the third quarter, the first time that they've started this.
Reese dominated the paint with her physicality. On the other hand, her rebounding was very vital in providing the Sky with many second choice chances. Reese was there, fighting for position and frequently returning with the ball every time a shot went up. Her scoring around the hoop was particularly critical as she finished through contact with force.
This is all 3 free throws. Just a massive missed opportunity there for Indiana. And then Carter blows right by Berger to the bucket for the easy lay.
The game generated some debate as well. The officials made numerous dubious rulings, including a foul on Clark that many felt ought to have been a flagrant one. These incidents enhanced the drama as both sides had to respond to the refereeing and the violence.
To work, big win for the young Sky. How about SZA recognizing game, saying she can't wait to go see Angel Reese play some basketball. All right, SZA, we want to see you.
On the floor, Clark led clearly all through the game. Confident in her direction, she made wise selections and kept her colleagues interested in the offensive. The Fever's victory owed much to her composure under duress, especially in the last seconds when every possession counted.
Clark notched the first triple-double ever by a WNBA rookie and the first in Fever franchise history. 19 points, 13.
Reese's influence was equally important. The Fever struggled to score within her defensive presence and shot-altering power. She was a constant danger, offensively using her weight and power to her benefit. She tended to flourish in the most intense parts of the game. Hence, her performance under pressure was remarkable.
Double-double streak, extending her record to now 12 straight, Carolyn Peck.
And she has put in the work. And let me tell you, in this game this weekend, not only was she rebounding.
The Fever won as the last buzzer rang, but the game had been a showcase for the extraordinary ability and will of Clark and Reese. Like many others between these two players, this game brought attention to the finest of what women's basketball has to offer.
In a row? I mean, in one season. So when you see a young woman come in like that and do that, I would have to give the nod with her efficiency rating.
This game has effects beyond just the ultimate score. Not just rivals, Clark and Reese also inspire young athletes. Many admirers and future players are motivated by their commitment, diligence, and love of the game. Every time they go on the court, they are increasing the profile of women's sports and modeling behavior. Future competition between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is certain to be intense. Both of the young athletes have many years of basketball ahead of them. Their games will always be a highlight of the WNBA season since they attract viewers and generate unforgettable events. This game was evidence of women's basketball's rising appeal and competitive environment. Based on the performances of Clark and Reese, the sport has a bright future, with fresh stars breaking limits on what is feasible on the court.
Right? This is our expert here, but according to ESPN Bet, Caitlin Clark is a heavy favorite after putting up that triple-double in a win over the Liberty, -600.
For the Indiana Fever, Caitlin Clark is a singular and priceless player because of her scoring ability and playmaking ability. Her performances never stop attracting attention and help her to rise in the league. Every game she participates in enhances her developing legacy and solidifies her rank among the WNBA's best players. The Chicago Sky mostly depends on Angel Reese's physicality and rebounding ability. Her team has a great edge as she can control the paint and rule on the boards. Reese's efforts transcend the stats since her vigor and diligence motivate her colleagues and raise their degree of performance. Clash between Clark and Reese was an exhibition of skill, tenacity, and the fierce attitude that characterizes the WNBA, not just a game. Both players left everything on the court, and their efforts gave fans an amazing show. All eyes will be on these two stars and their respective teams as the season runs on. The conflicts between the Fever and the Sky will remain must-watch events as every game presents fresh highlights highlights and unforgettable moments. In women's basketball, Clark and Reese are raising a high benchmark for quality. Their rivalry is a major factor in the development of the game. The value of this game goes beyond the individual performances. It demonstrates the improving level of competitiveness in the WNBA and the increasing interest in women's sports. The clash between Clark and Reese is a reminder of the amazing skill and effort existing in the league and the exciting future that lies ahead. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have already accomplished so much in their early careers, but their road still needs to be completed. Each game is a chance to build on their legacies and inspire future generations of gamers. In conclusion, the game between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese was a stunning demonstration of basketball at its finest level. Both players offered their all, providing a performance that will be remembered for years to come. Their rivalry, distinguished by mutual respect and ferocious competitiveness, continues to attract spectators and enhance the sport. The future of women's basketball is bright, with talents like Clark and Reese leading the way and establishing new standards of excellence on the field.